Majority of abortions in Texas are now banned after the Supreme Court did not rule on an emergency appeal to keep a new law from taking effect.
The law known as Senate Bill 8 prohibits abortions after 6 weeks. It also allows people to sue abortion providers and people who help others get them. These lawsuits could win plaintiffs up to $10,000 with, of course, added attorney fees. Even before the law took effect, Texas abortion clinics had been turning patients away. Since mid-August, 11 Planned Parenthood clinics were not scheduling patients after September 1st.
Let's bring in NBC News legal analyst Danny Cevallos, who joins us to help break down this decision. So first of all, Danny, what does this mean for Roe v. Wade? Does this chip away at it at all?
It doesn't mean that Roe v. Wade is overturned. It doesn't necessarily even chip away at Roe v. Wade yet. This is a complicated battle of injunctive relief and asking courts to stay things before they go forward. But the key at this stage is about preserving the status quo until the ultimate case can be decided. In fact, technically an injunction could still be issued by a court, or including the Supreme Court. But all this means is that the law has been allowed to go into effect, which does surprise me, because if you think about what the status quo was before the law, it was a scheme consistent with Roe v. Wade. The law as it exists now is not really consistent with Roe v. Wade. So it was a surprise to me that the Supreme Court didn't decide to weigh in and at least hit the pause button until the case could be decided.
Danny, we want to talk more about the Supreme Court and their role here. But first, let's talk about what this means. I mentioned that the law essentially lets anyone sue abortion providers or people who helped someone get an abortion. Can you break down how that works? I mean, does it really mean anyone?
This law is either brilliant or diabolical, depending on which side of the debate you're on, because its proponents have effectively tried to insulate it from challenge. It's not the government, the state government, that's enforcing the law. Instead, like Wyatt Earp, they have deputized citizens to file private lawsuits against anyone, not just who conducts an abortion or performs an abortion, but aids, abets, assists in an abortion, hitting them where it can really devastate them, their pocketbook. And so the financial disincentive now is clear. Perform an abortion at your own financial risk. And what citizen wouldn't want, who's not, doesn't even have to be involved in the case or know the abortion provider, have any relationship, they can just march into court and basically get a free $10,000 if they file suit. Who wouldn't want to get involved in that? I mean, well, a lot of people, but there are a lot of people that would want to file suit and make some fast money.
So, Danny, at this point, do we know what is the next major legal battle over abortion in the Supreme Court?
There's going to be a lot of procedural battles going forward in the immediate future. The Supreme Court could technically still issue an injunction, but because they declined to act, the law goes into effect for now. So we are probably months, maybe even years away from the Supreme Court issuing a final decision when this case gets before them and they consider it properly. But what's controversial here is that this is part of what's been called the shadow docket, the Supreme Court issuing essentially opinions or decisions on cases without a reasoned, 100-page explanation of why they arrived at that decision, which kind of runs counter to the vision we all have of the Supreme Court, which is they decide cases, but at least they tell us how they arrived there.
Right. Danny Cevallos, thank you so much for walking us through this breaking news this morning.